All right, guys, we down here at the Media Day at Hillcrest High School for Main Street's AAU program. I'm here with one of the team moms, I guess you could say, support staff.
I'm one of the executives.
The executives,
executive support staff.
Executive support staff. Get it right, Miss Monique Clarity. First interview of the day. Talk to us about, first off, as one of the executive support staff, what entails your day-to-day as far as operations, as far as your responsibility, your role?
So my role here is as far as forming a team. So I get the teams together, we get them going with the schedules, and as far as on the EYBL, EYCO side, that they normally have their schedule already populated for them by Nike.
Right.
So pretty much on the national side and on the select side, I handles their schedule as far as forming their teams, getting them registered for the program, and pretty much take a lot of day-to-day calls for a lot of Q&As.
I bet. Now, does your role also entail like the logistics when they got to fly somewhere, when they got to bus somewhere? Does that also entail some of the things that you do?
Actually, I don't have to. That's the best part of it.
Okay.
So everything with that is really self-managed by the coaches as well as on the EYBL and EYCO side. So that's the best part about that for me.
Now, how long have you been with Main Streets?
I've been with Main Street. This is going on year 4. I run a program called Hoop Force Basketball as well. And I'm like the feeder team exactly for them as well.
Okay.
So we continue to develop children as well as we continue to go through the roles, put them through training and develop them and feed them off into the Main Streets program.
You're one of the South Suburban queens,
Yes.
if you will.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the players out of the South Suburbs, the coaching out of the South Suburbs? Like how has it evolved over the years?
Oh, wow. The talent has went through the sky lately. So, and these kids are different era of children as well. So the talent is here. And as far as the atmosphere of the basketball atmosphere is great. It's just an awesome way to go when it comes to these children elevating to the next level.
Now, your son goes to Bremen, correct?
Yes, my son goes to Bremen High School. He's a 17U this year. He plays on the national side as well with the circuit as well. So it's going to be a great year as well for him, I believe.
As the basketball season just came to an end, obviously Rich Township made it to downstate, came in 4th place. Can you just talk a little bit about, some of the championship level of basketball that's going on in the South Suburbs? You got HF, they won it last year. Unfortunately, they couldn't repeat. Rich Township, Coach Lou and them are doing a great job over there. Obviously, Coach Houston here at Hillcrest always got the schools ready to roll. Talk about that.
The South Suburban schools, as far as the coaching staff, is doing a tremendous job. I think all of them are great. They all bring that great commodity when it comes to the kids, to actually getting them to the level. A lot of these teams have they're powerhouse teams, and they're stacking very, very well, if that makes sense. The South Suburbs is just here to blow up. Nothing against the city, but we're here to stay, and we're here to take it to a whole new elevation.
Now, as a parent, what advice would you give other parents that are looking for AAU programs, whether it be Main Streets, whether it be the program that your son plays for? The beauty of Illinois is there's a plethora of AAU programs that might play against some of these bigger teams. You don't necessarily have to play for the bigger team to get seen. What advice would you give a parent?
I'm going to say, go where your kid is needed. Go where he's needed, where he's going to get the player development as well as the coaches care about the children as well. So you want your child not just to sit on the bench, but just to make sure they're getting their reps in the game as well. So it's just like AAU is pretty much a little bit like college as well. Go where they're needed, pretty much.
Lastly, you're very familiar with our platform, the Exposure Runs platform. Can you talk a little bit about, what you think of the platform, what we're doing? Give your overall thoughts of it.
I just want to say, when I seen that Exposure had started, I know somebody personally who works for them. I just think they're doing a great job. I like it when I see the media team come out and continue to talk to the players and get to know them a little bit more. And I love when the directors of the actual Exposure, as well as other different programs, that they know the kid personally and the background more of the kid, as opposed to just out the wing. They know the kid personally.
Monique, I really appreciate the support you've given me personally over the years, obviously with the platform, but from a personal level, you've always been very supportive of what we've been doing, so I just want to thank you for that.
I'm here to support you guys. If you need any guys, my phone is open as well. I'm signing off as one of Main Street executive operators.
Thank you, Monique.
Operators. Thank y'all.
All right, guys, we stood down here at the Media Day being presented by Hillcrest High School in Main Streets. Give us your name, your class, We know your high school, but we're going to go ahead and say it for the people.
Jameer Ratliff, class 2026, Hillcrest High School.
Hillcrest High School. All right, we down here at your high school. You're very familiar with the building and the gym. Kind of talk about your AAU program being here at your home school.
It feels good, you know, because it gives Hillcrest more popularity. And yeah.
Basketball season just wrapped up. How would you grade A through F? How would you grade your season?
Like a C.
Like a C?
Yeah, because we wanted to win state. We didn't accomplish it.
All right. How do you improve on that C for you for next year?
Be in the gym every day. The season starts now, you know.
For high school next season, for the next high school season, and for this upcoming AAU season, talk a little bit about, you just kind of mentioned it a little bit, but talk a little bit about what you personally need to work on as a player going into next season and as you are going into the AAU season.
I need to be more of a leader. I need to be in the weight room more and get my team in the gym.
What are some of your goals for the AAU season as a team and individually? You play on what level?
I play on 17 with EYBL.
Okay. What do you want to work on personally, and what would you like to see the team work on overall?
I would like to see the team make it a Peace Jam, because only one team from EYBL make it a Peace Jam, so try to make that. And personally, I want to get more offers.
Why did you decide to join Mean Streets? Obviously, everyone knows the history of the Mean Streets program. What drew you in about the program?
How organized it is, and like how much training and work they put in.
Can you describe your game? You said you want to get more offers. If a coach sees this, how would you describe your game to them?
I'm a pass first guard. I can shoot, I can defend, and I hustle a lot.
Lastly, obviously you are very familiar with our platform, the Exposure Ones platform. Can you talk a little bit about just what the platform is about? What's your thoughts on it? You know, just give your overall evaluation of what we're doing.
I think they're doing a good job exposing players, getting them more looks at coaches, and yeah.
Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. We stood down here at Hillcrest High School for the Media Day being presented by Mean Streets. We know who you are.
Yes, sir.
The world knows who you are, but just in case anybody that's been sleeping under a rock, give us your name, your year, and the school that you attend.
I'm Brady Pettigrew, class of 2028, and I attend Bolingbrook High School.
All right, your season just wrapped up. What grade would you give yourself, A through F, on your first high school season?
I'll say around a B, because I want to get myself to improve. I feel like it wasn't a bad season, but it didn't end up the way we wanted, so I can't give myself an A.
How do you improve on that?
Really just the winning part. I feel like I had a good individual season, but I know I'm going to have to pick up the pace, and my production's going to have to pick up because we're losing some really good players, and Davion and JT and all the seniors. So I know I'm going to have a bigger role, so I got to step into it.
Playing with your brother, talk about that. Like, what was that like? You guys wake up in the same house, y'all travel to practice together, y'all play together, still brother, right? Still that brother rivalry, but what is it like playing with your brother?
I mean, it was awesome. Everyone knows he's a great player, so that part's always awesome. But, you know, just being on the court with your brother is special, so anyone who experiences it, you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, he's been my brother, you know, like, on and off the court. You know, when he's on there, he's took me under his wing. He caught me a little bit, but he's still on me no matter what.
That's awesome to hear, saying that he's your brother on and off the court. Usually in those type of relationships, when it's a guy who's not a brother, to have somebody take you under their wing like a brother, but he's actually your brother. So that felt a little, did it feel different? Did it feel good? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, it meant a lot, because, like, you know, some brothers don't have really a close connection. So, like, him doing that for me, that was special to me.
Going into the next high school season, and as you are approaching the AAU season, what's something that you want to work on for your game?
I want to rebound more because, you know, like I said, I'm a bigger guard, and most kids that we play, I'm going to be bigger than no matter what position. So I feel like if I can get that rebound, that means I can do it all.
Going into the AAU season, what are some of your individual goals on the circuit, and what are some goals for your team?
I'm going to start with the team. Obviously, everyone has the same goal to win Peach Jam, but when we say that, we really mean that. Like, we feel like we believe we can really do that. And individually, I want to show I'm the top playmaker and scorer.
For the team that you're playing on, y'all got some really good individual players. How, if it is difficult for you guys to mesh together? Y'all are all alphas for your individual teams, and y'all are giving up a little bit of something when y'all playing together. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we know it's going to be a sacrifice, but at the same time, we're going to gain a lot because having so much skill, you can't take us all away. So we knew if we play together, it's going to be hard to stop us. Now, it's not easy to play together because coming from a school team, we were all the man.
Right, right.
So coming together, we know, like I said, it's going to be sacrifice, but we're willing to make that for the wins.
Do you guys have those conversations, or do you like individually talk about, kind of like we all hear the story about how LeBron and D-Wade and Bosh had to have those conversations. Wade pretty much had to give up his status as the man on Miami during that time. Do you guys have those conversations together?
Oh yeah, all the time. Because like I said, at our school, you know, we were kind of like the scorers, like, you know, pretty much like the man. So coming here, we knew like we can't all be the man. It's just not realistic. So we knew we're gonna have to give up some stuff. We're also gonna have to do more at the same time.
Why Mean Streets? Why did you decide to join Mean Streets? They are a very legendary AAU program throughout the world, not just Illinois, throughout the world. Why did you decide to join them?
I mean, it's a great program. When I say program, it means on and off the court. They take care of their kids. And the basketball part, as everyone knows, it's amazing. So like, as you can see, there's all the top players are in this gym, and it's no surprise.
I like how you can look around the gym at any given point in time and see some of the former players come back. I love how Mean Streets also highlight some of the former players. I just saw them talking about Morez, who had a good game yesterday in the NCAA tournament. I saw Matthews walking around. Talk about some of that legendary status of former players that you can really reach out and touch and get some advice from.
Yeah, so when I was first deciding where I would play at AAU this year, Morez actually texted me. He was talking about Mean Streets, so that shows how big the culture is here at Mean Streets, and culture means a lot in the program.
If a coach comes across this video, and when it comes to the opportunity to them having that one-on-one conversation with you and your parents, and they ask you, tell me what kind of player you are, what's your answer?
Well, I'm never going to tell them about skill or scoring anything. I'm going to tell them how I give them my 100% every time I step on the court. I might not have my best game, I might not have my worst game. You know, that's just the days, but I'm always going to give you everything I got.
Your dad obviously had a legendary career as an athlete. Your older brother, obviously now you got JT. You guys have you ever talked about at some level, at some point, all playing together? What does that look like in the Pettigrew household?
Oh yeah, all the time. So every time we would go to the open gym, we'd all like, if we were on the same team, we're just not playing. You know, like, because like it's like the Ball brothers, you know, that connection's just there.
Yes.
So like, it's possible for us to meet up in the collegiate level. So that'd be special.
That would be very special. Lastly, before we go, I know you're a little familiar with our platform.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about the Exposure Runs platform. Give us your overall honest thoughts and opinions on it.
I mean, I think it's actually a great thing. When they invited me, unfortunately I couldn't go, but I saw it. I mean, it was awesome. They have a great setting. The environment was great, and they have the best hoopers at every time. Every time I see the pictures, I'm like, dang, 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. I mean, like, if you get invited, there's no way you don't accept it. It's just.
I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by, man. Good luck on this AAU season. We're looking forward to following you the rest of your high school career. Big things coming from you. You got a great support system. Take full advantage of that.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay, guys, we're continuing our coverage of the Mean Streets Media Day down here at Hillcrest High School. Give us your name, the class that you're in, and the high school that you attend.
My name's EYBL, class of 2027, and I attend at Jacobs High School.
Basketball season just wrapped up. How would you grade your high school season this year, A through F?
I give it a C minus. You know, I could have done better. I could have been a better leader for my team. So yeah, I give it a C minus.
C minus. What do you need to work on to get that grade a little higher?
My handling and my shooting, most definitely. Coming into my junior year, I have to be able to shoot the ball at a high clip.
I saw you working out over there, getting some shots up. Your shot looks really, really well. How often are you in the gym getting shots up?
Say 4 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, I take Wednesday off just to give my legs time to recover, and then Thursday, Friday, I'm back at it, and then Saturday, Sunday on my game days.
Do you yourself go into the gym? Do you have a trainer? Does mom or dad have to kind of wake you up to get into the gym? Like, what's your routine like?
So I go to the park every now and then if my trainer is not like ready or doesn't feel well. So I go to the park for 2 hours, and when my trainer does, we do like 3 hours, 2 hours of basketball training, 1 hour stretch and recovery.
Going into next high school season, and as you're approaching your season for AAU, what would you like to work on? What do you think you need to work on?
That's a good question. As I said before, being a better leader, you know, it's good to be a talented player, but the true question is, can you lead, you know?
That's a great answer. What are your goals for this upcoming AAU season, individually and for your teams?
Individually, I want to make it to EYBL. You know, EYCL is still a good circuit, still better competition, but I think I can get up there. And as a team, I think we can get a good record.
Why Mean Streets? Why did you decide to join the Mean Street organization?
Mean Streets, I've been seeing it on Instagram, and I was like, why not? You know, it's a lot of competition, so why not?
Talk about your coaches for Mean Streets. Like, how are they pushing you? How do you think that they're preparing you for the AAU season?
Coach Vic, shout out to him. He pushes us hard, makes us work hard. Even when we're tired, we got to push through fatigue, work on our handling, work on our shot. Just be prepared for the race.
Can you talk a little bit about your game? If a college coach sees this, and they ask you, which they probably will when in that interview process,
right,
how would you describe your game to them?
My game, I'm more of a playmaker, slasher. I make guys around me better. I like to give the ball up. I'm a little bit too unselfish, you know, but yeah, it's more of a playmaker.
Lastly, are you familiar with the Explosion Runs platform?
No.
So we started our platform in 2020. I actually started it for my son. It just kind of grew into what it is today, which is giving players opportunity to just really speak for themselves.
Right.
With that being said, how do you feel like platforms like ours and other platforms that are out there to give the opportunity for the basketball player to speak for themselves?
You know, I think it's good. It teaches us how to speak properly. It teaches us how to give eye contact, you know. It teaches us a lot of things that we're going to need in the future. So.
Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much. Still down here at Hillcrest High School for the Mean Streets Media Day. I'm here with definitely one of the team moms for sure. Also another South Suburban queen. Tell us your name.
Ashley Harris.
All right, Ashley. Tell us what your role is as one of the Mean Street moms, if you will.
Everything. I do everything. Wherever I am needed, that's where I go.
Now, you are pretty much a parent who is pretty into the basketball year-round. From AAU to high school to back to AAU. Your son actually just got to high school.
Yeah.
Coming off a pretty successful middle school career over at Prairie Hills, correct?
Correct.
Talk about that. Talk about that cycle of basketball. Talk about that.
It's nonstop. Eat, breathe, sleep, think basketball in our household. Not only do we do basketball, but we also do football.
Okay.
My baby boy is into basketball and football.
Okay.
But he got a strong example of his brother. He's following his footsteps.
Okay. With basketball for your son, how do you keep him grounded? Obviously, going into high school, he had a pretty successful middle school career, or y'all call it grammar school out here, but had a pretty successful grammar school career. How do you keep him pretty humbled and level-headed as his high school career? He had a very successful high school start to his career. How do you keep him humble?
Play his game, his way, be your own person.
Now, we have mentioned your son quite a few times. Tell us who your son is.
My son is Jeremiah J. Weatherford. He plays for Rich Township High School. He is a freshman who plays sophomore and varsity.
Very successful start to his high school career, as I mentioned. He had a very prominent role as a freshman for them to make it downstate in that game, down at UIC. When you're sitting in the stands and you watching your son compete on that type of level, tell us, what does that feel like as mom?
It's pride, like just proud. Every time I see him on that floor out there doing what he loves to do, I'm just proud.
Why Mean Streets? Why did you decide to try out and have your son to be part of such a prestigious program?
Mean Streets is home. We started with Mean Streets, and why go anywhere else?
Why
it's the
go anywhere
best.
else? Absolutely. What advice would you give to parents that is looking for a good high school as well as a good AAU program for their child?
Stay active. Know what you want out of the coach, out of the high school career. Connections matter. So.
What level Jeremiah plays on? Is he playing up?
We're here?
Yeah.
No, he's playing 15U here.
Okay. And who's the 15U coach?
He has Coach B.
Coach B, right. Shout out to Coach Brandon. He invited us down. Lastly, you are very familiar with our platform. You've been very supportive of our platform. We interviewed your son with the Prairie Hills team when they won the championships over there. Can you talk a little bit about our platform and what's your overall thoughts of it?
I appreciate the fact that you spotlight all kids, not just the kids who have the top names. Pretty vocal. Pretty vocal. I do appreciate that. If I want to know something that I heard, I'm pretty sure you're going to know. So I just look for exposure runs, you know?
Pretty vocal indeed. We saw Coach Slaughter, and he anointed me the fastest coach in IHSA history who got fired. Yeah, that's a record according to Coach Slaughter.
But you stood your ground.
Definitely did.
You said what you had to say, and you didn't waver from it, so I can appreciate that.
I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by. I know
No
you ain't really want
problem.
to do it, but you did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Continuing our day down at the Mean Streets Combine. We're here at Hillcrest High School. Tell us your name, year that you're playing on Mean Streets, and the school that you're attending.
My name is Jeremiah Rutherford, class 2028, and I'm playing 15U EYBL.
You just wrapped up your basketball season, freshman year at Rich Township. Pretty successful season. I know you guys didn't win the state championship, came in 4th place. How would you grade your first year of high school?
It was crazy. Like, it was just a lot. My first year it was a great first year. I ain't gonna say great, but it's one that I definitely have again for sure.
What grade would you give yourself, A through F?
A through F. Like a B minus.
B minus? What do you think you need to work on to increase that grade?
My left for sure. I want to work on getting downhill more, getting to my mid-range, stuff like that.
Part of the success that you had, obviously playing up on varsity, which is always a kid coming into high school, that's their, I'm going to play varsity, I'm going to play varsity. Coach Lou and Coach Mark and all those coaches, they trusted you, particularly down in one of those games that actually got you down to the finals, down to one of the Final Four. Talk about that game. Talk about what you was feeling in that moment down at UIC, being tasked with guarding one of the best players in the state down the stretch.
Really, I just, I was ready. Ready for my name to get called at the right time. I stayed ready. Whole game, I ain't played till overtime, Still got to be ready. Always be ready with your name called. Got to deliver.
For high school, going into the next high school season, as well as the upcoming AAU season, I know you said one of the things you wanted to work on is your left hand. Is there any other things that you feel like you need to work on as you start and get ready for the AAU season and prepare for next high school season?
Definitely my pace. Definitely my pace to get to my mid-range. Like I said, that's going to be the biggest thing for me. And defense.
Defense, okay. What individual goals do you have, and what goals do you have for the team headed into the AAU season?
My team goal, no, I'm going to do personal. Personal first, I want to get offer for sure.
Okay.
An offer or a body.
Okay.
And then for team goals, I want to win peace jump.
When you talk about offer, I know right now, like a lot of the young kids, like D1, that's their thought process. I'm not really sure, as far as being such a young guy, if you really understand fully the landscape of college basketball. But that aside, what are there particular schools or particular offers, if you will, that you're looking for?
As of right now, not really. I'm just really kind of taking whatever comes to me right now. Then like later on down the path, I'll start to, figure all that stuff out.
If any college coach gets a chance to see this, what would you say, what type of player would you tell them that you are?
Hungry, dog. I'm ready
Point
to work.
blank.
Dog. Anytime, anything you need me to do, I'm doing it. No matter who I got to guard, center, power forward, small forward,
You
shooting
ready?
guard, I'm there.
Talk a little bit about your coaches, Coach Lou, Coach Les, the rest of them guys over there at Rich Township. Talk about them.
They're a great group of guys. They gonna push you. They gonna make you go till you can't go no more for sure. They definitely always work. They great dudes to be around. Besides basketball, they always gonna care for you. They gonna look out for you. Like they like a second dad. It's like a second pops.
Why Mean Streets? Why did you decide to join Mean Streets?
It's family. It's family. These my dogs. I've been hooping with them since I was 6th grade. So I'm gonna stick with.
Lastly, you know a little bit about the Exposure Runs platform. You're very familiar with it. We interviewed you back at Prairie Hills. Very successful middle school career. Can you talk a little bit about the platform? Give your overall thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent. Like what you think about it?
About Prairie Hills?
No, about Exposure Runs.
Oh, no, it's definitely a good platform. I've been seeing people blow up off this. It's a great platform to be on. When you get the opportunity for anything, I just feel like you should take it and run with it.
Appreciate you stopping by, Jeremiah. Good luck this AAU season. You're going to get that offer, big guy. Still down here at Hillcrest High School for the Mean Streets Combine. I'm here with Mr. Illinois Gatorade Player of the Year, Warren Township Superstar Guard. I know that's a little, last time we talked to you, that label or that attention sometimes doesn't fit your personality, but it is what it is. You got to start accepting it.
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson Davis, man, you just wrapped up a hell of a season. Didn't come out the way that you had hoped, unfortunately. 1 point loss to a pretty good Bennett team. Talk a little bit about that game and how did that feel getting to that game and coming up just short?
It felt big for our school and our program. Bennett was an excellent team all year. They were consistent. I mean, we had up and down, so it was just amazing that we were able to make it to that game. Obviously, we came up short, but I mean, it was just an amazing thing for the school and the city of Gurnee just to see it happen. Everybody appreciated it, so I'm just glad our team was able to bring joy to the city of Gurnee and people and bring the community together.
One of the things that I noticed, because I watched some of the games on TV, I wasn't able to make it down. I actually was out of town, but you looked like you was really having fun playing. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun. I mean, just playing the sport, I've been playing since 2 to 3 years old. I mean, it was just amazing to make it down that far.
What was that experience like going downstate with your teammates? You guys in the hotels, hanging out, getting a chance to play on, at the arena that Illinois play at. Like, talk about that a little bit.
It was just an experience of a lifetime. I mean, my teammates we're linked forever. No matter what happened, they all got my number, I got their number, and we're family forever, no matter what. So, yeah.
I know the season didn't end the way that you had hoped that it ended, but can you grade your season A through F? How would you say you did?
I would say an A. I would just give it a solid A. I mean, not an A plus, obviously, but because A plus would have finished it off for a state championship. But overall, I would give it an A. I mean, there's always room for improvement all the time, so it's always time to work.
Now, you are linked with some of the great players in your class. Ironically, you happen to play with them on your AAU team. Talk a little bit about them as your AAU teammates and just kind of like the personal relationship that y'all have off the court.
Yeah, so as AAU teammates, I mean, it's fun. I mean, I love playing with Davion. I mean, when we were younger in middle school, it was me, Davion, Devin all on the same team. And when we step on the court against each other, obviously we're going to compete, play, try to win, try to beat each other. It's all fun. But off the court, we all love each other. There's no bad blood. I mean, we just want to see each other make it far, and we're going to compliment each other throughout our whole careers.
How difficult is it for you guys, all of you coming from your individual teams where you're alpha dogs, you're either the man or like you're right there in line to become the man, and now y'all playing on the same AAU team? Is it difficult for y'all to kind of relinquish a little bit of that role?
No, it's actually way easier to play with guys that know how to play the game along with you. I mean, that's how it is at the highest level, at the Division I level in college basketball. You have to play around guys that were coming from the high schools or AAU teams that were alpha dogs. So it's just preparation for the next level.
Obviously, you said you'll give yourself a solid A for your season, not winning the state championship, which I'm sure you're going to be working really hard for next year. But thinking about next year, thinking about the next high school season, and as you're getting ready to transition into the AAU season, what do you want to work on personally for yourself, for your game?
Just leadership. I know I'm gonna get in the gym, work on my skills no matter what. Just being a good person, leadership, and that just goes a long way itself. So if I do that at a high level, I'll be able to get my skills. Pull up jump shots, layups, everything will come with that. Just hard work, but having good leadership brings it all together.
Speaking of leadership, what does that look like for Jackson? What does leadership look like?
Just communicate to my teammates. Hitting the guys when they're open. Keeping a positive attitude on the court. That just brings guys together, and that brings winning basketball, and that's what I want to do.
What are your individual goals, and what are some of the team goals going into the new AAU season?
I would say my individual goals is just get more looks by college coaches. Try to get more offers. Obviously go up the rankings, and that doesn't matter, but it helps. It helps. Just get more respect on the national level. And as a team, obviously, we want to win the Nike EYBL Peace Jam together. So that's a big time accomplishment that we're trying to get to.
Is that something that you guys talk about? And do you think that's a realistic goal for you guys?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. I mean, we came up short last year, but we showed what we were capable of at the end of last year. We won the USA tournament. So, I mean, anything's possible. I mean, they didn't believe we could make it downstate, and we almost won the state championship. So, I mean, just bringing the guys that want to be here and just winning basketball. That's all that matters.
Obviously, a lot of coaches already know who you are. You helped yourself getting downstate, had some phenomenal games, had a big game against Rich Township to get to the championship game. Illinois Gatorade Player of the Year. So your name, if not before, is now more on a national level. But for coaches who may not know who you are, coaches who are just kind of coming into the who is this guy? What type of player would you say that you are?
Just a team player. I can knock down shots. I could create my own bucket, but I would say I get my teammates involved first and just put winning first. I just want to. I mean, that's what keeps college coaches' jobs, winning games. So I just want to win games and then all that other stuff will come with it.
Do you have a specific, I know it's still early, do you have a specific thought process as it goes into the selection process to go into college, as far as the school you're looking at?
I mean, I don't know really. I'm still young in the process, but just any school that will fit my play style and that will really want me to. So.
Thinking about Mean Streets, you look around, you see some former NBA vets. You got Wesley Matthews over here. Obviously, Merez is doing a hell of a job right now, helping Illinois in the NCAA tournament. A lot of guys come back. I saw Antonio walking around here. Guys that have played for this legendary program, what do you feel drew you to playing for Mean Streets?
I feel like the guys just around the program. I mean, like my first time I was with Mean Streets was when they had brought me up to play with the 17s with Merez, Noges, Carlos. I see how they handled everything. I mean, Merez and Noges, they handled everything at a high level, and the coaches had handled everything at a high level, and I like that. And I mean, obviously I have 2 more years, but I will definitely like be somebody who comes back and like give everything I can, because I mean they're giving everything they can for me.
Lastly, I know you're very familiar with our platform. We, always invite you out to stuff. I know sometimes your schedule doesn't allow it, which is fine, but you're always going to get an invite from us. Just thinking about our platform, can you give us your honest thoughts and opinions, good, better, and indifferent, what you think about the Exposure Runs platform?
I think it's amazing. I mean, like I haven't been able to make it out to the runs yet, but I see the runs all the time. I mean, they get top players in there all the time. This interview stuff with the youth athletes, I mean, it just gets them ready for the next level, and like it just gets them ready. And like I gotta show up to the runs, but I mean, I seen good things. So
I appreciate
nothing but good things.
Lastly, I know, again, AAU season get ready to start, man. We want to wish you the best. All the college coaches, as I mentioned, they probably drooling trying to get you to come to their program or to show why you should be a part of their program. So, stay healthy. Just have fun with it, man. Like, you're still young. Yeah. Just have a lot of fun with it, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by. For Mean Streets Combine, I'm here with 15U coach, Bolingbrook assistant coach, Mr. Brandon Brown.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you having us down, man. It really means a lot. I got the call from AJ.
Yeah.
He reached out to me and said, hey, man, I don't normally give people numbers out. Is it okay if I give the number to Coach Brown? I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you reached out and invited us down, man. That really means a lot that you invited us down to be a part of this day. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you for coming. I mean, it's just pillars like you within our community that, are about the kids and really give the kids the support that they need. So anytime we can come together and join forces, we're all for it.
Man, I love that, man. Mean Streets is such a legendary AAU program, obviously, over the years. I mean, we'll be here all day naming some of the NBA stars or just basketball stars. I mean, just because they may not have made it to the NBA, they are still stars in their own right. So to be able to be a part of something like this with such a legendary program, Coach Slaughter, Coach Streets, obviously always gives us love, all the coaches that are around the players. So we really appreciate that, man. As you just wrapped up your season with Bolingbrook, obviously it didn't go the way that everybody had hoped to have went. And then you jump right into the AAU season, being a part of the conglomerate of people around here, support staff, of putting this event together. Like, how do you stay motivated to go from one thing right to the next?
For sure. No, it's about the kids. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's why we're all in this. It's for the kids, right? So anything we can do to continue to provide support to the kids, I'm all for it, right? So that's what keeps me going. And that's the main reason I got into this. Obviously, the more you're doing it, the more you get pulled in other directions. But, at the end of the day, at its core, this whole thing is about the kids.
As you're walking around, right, with the many hats that you're wearing today, evaluating the players, evaluating their parents. Like, what are you looking for? What is in the mind of Brandon, the coach, the evaluator, the man? Like, what do you see?
For sure. I mean, the biggest thing I say, just even within this environment, what we do here at Mean Streets, it isn't for everyone. Just because we're not going to just roll the basketball out and we're going to go play. So there's going to be some accountability. There's going to be structure. There's going to be some discipline. And we're just trying to prepare the kids. So, again, if we have kids that are willing and able to do that, then, hey, let's do it. And then everything else is going to take care of itself.
How does it feel seeing some of the former, whether they're NBA vets? We saw Wesley Matthews here. I see you guys always are supporting and posting players that are in the tournament and just having success at the next level. What does that mean to you personally, that you're a part of an organization like Mean Streets and you have such a plethora of players that can pour back into the younger generation.
For sure. It just means, again, it's about opportunity, right? So, you know, when we have those that have made it, it shows the kids that, hey, right now you have an opportunity. Don't take it for granted. And then the fact that they're still involved, right, it lets them know, hey, you can get there, right? I'm touchable, right? Anything you need, allow me to be a resource. And again, like I said, it just goes back to the kids at the end of the day, just that core.
Can you talk about the type of mentorship that Coach Streets and Coach Slaughter provides for you personally? When you think about them, the success they've had at the high school level, the success they've had business-wise. Obviously, Ty, played football at Michigan. He had a very successful career in the NFL. Talk about what they mean to you personally in your coaching career and just as a man.
For sure. No, I mean, they probably get tired of me because I'm always asking questions. I try to be a sponge anytime I'm around those guys. And, to their credit, they've opened up, their book to me, right? Any resource that they have, that they made sure to let me know that's my resource too. And that's not something that I take for granted, because in this business, in order to be successful, you have to learn from others.
You have to. What is what's in the cards for Brandon? Like, what do you want to do with your high school career? What do you want to do with your AAU career? Where do you project yourself?
For sure, I think I've tried to do a good job of just being where my feet are, right, and really not looking too far ahead, right. So I just want to take advantage of the opportunity that I have now here at Mean Streets, coaching the 15s, and then again as an assistant at Bolingbrook.
When you are evaluating players, right, talking to parents, you're in the homes, whether or not you're recruiting them for the Mean Streets program, can you talk a little bit about some of the unrealistic expectations of players and parents, and how do you have those conversations of, hey, you're either not there yet, or you need to really kind of start looking at where you actually are? You said it perfectly, being where your feet are.
For sure.
For a player like that, being where your feet are on the court and your skill set, what does those conversations look like?
For sure. I mean, for me, the one thing I always say is, if you want to know the truth, come to me, right? So I'm not you may not always agree with it. We may not agree with each other, but based on my experience, I'm going to tell you exactly where your child is, because I don't want you to come back, years from now and say, hey, Coach B told me my child was this, that, and the third. Now, again, you may see your child one way, and, I may see him another way. But what we do, we have to listen to the guys that do this for a living. The scouts, the media, right?
The evaluators.
The evaluators. Yep. Those are the ones that really do it for a living. And if you are, or if you're not where you want to be today, continue to work.
Yeah, for sure. Now, to be fair, speaking, kind of taking my media hat off for a second and putting my father hat on, sometimes, respectfully, y'all get it wrong. Y'all may say a player is not this and they end up being much better.
100%.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what is that like when you have to have that tough conversation like, nah, I don't think you this, and then they go on and be better than that? Has that happened, and what is that like?
For sure, no. And at the end of the day, I think when we have those conversations, we want to be wrong, right? Like we want to be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, we want these kids to be successful in basketball or whatever they choose to do, right? So if you have a kid and you have that tough conversation, you hope that it's motivation for that kid, right? Because again, you never want to slight a kid for where they see themselves, right?
Okay.
So and
their perspective is their reality.
Exactly,
Okay.
100%, right? But now you have to get others to buy into that as well. And when that does happen, again, for someone like me, I have an appreciation for that, because I want the kid to be successful no matter what.
When you think about the evaluators, the scouts, the people in the basketball world who have such a pulse on where kids can go and are projected to go, but they have no skill set, never played the game. Can you just really talk a little bit about how that is, how that comes to be? You have, former NBA players whose careers were not that great. They talk real crazy. You have sportscasters, the same thing. Even down here on the high school level, you have these platforms of people who work for them, and they rank the players. and they don't know a fucking basketball from a ping pong ball.
For sure.
Never played the game. Can you talk a little bit about that?
For sure, no, and the thing I would say is when anyone's given that type of responsibility, you hope that, you know, they take their craft seriously and they do what they need to do to prepare, right? You know, and again, for a scout, a recruiter, an evaluator, if you, like, so just because you don't know how to drive a car doesn't necessarily mean you don't know how to build one.
Okay.
So, you know, with that being said, I think not everyone is right or they deserve to be in the job or do it for a career, but you just hope when someone does have that type of responsibility or they have the microphone that, you know, they don't take that for granted.
Okay. With today's basketball landscape, college basketball being, how is Mean Streets preparing the players and the parents not just for the game on the court? As you know, when you get to that next level, and it starts really in college, no matter the level, there's a business element that goes into playing basketball.
For sure.
A game.
For sure.
How are you, you know, JD, obviously Cole, you got McNeil out here, the ties as we call them.
Yep.
How are you guys preparing them for the business? I saw Andrew walking around here who's an agent in the game.
For sure.
How are you guys preparing them for that part of the game?
Yeah, 100%. And it goes back to this weekend, right? Like our combine/media weekend, like we really take this opportunity to prepare the kids not only on the court but off the court. Yesterday they went through media training.
Nice.
They got NIL education, and then we talked about the physical wellness. You know, I think if we can continue to provide those tools to them, that's going to help them in the long run. Obviously, they're going to have to learn some things from their experience, but they have to learn some things from their experience. But, you know, we try to do the best we can with providing them with those resources to take to the next level.
I know you spoke briefly on it in the beginning when we first started talking. You're very familiar with our platform. Can you just give us your thoughts overall about what we're doing, good, better, and indifferent, how we can maybe make it better, and what we're doing overall?
For sure. I mean, again, I think your platform is great. You know, I had a kid at Bolingbrook, or a few kids that came through your platform, and just creating an opportunity for those that don't necessarily get an opportunity for whatever reason. I think it's something that should be applauded and, you know, rewarded. As far as, you know, what can be done differently or better, you know, I think as you guys expand your brand and just be able to get more kids involved and maybe touch other states, I think that would be great.
Man, I really appreciate that, man. The support that you have given us behind the scenes and now obviously out in front, the support that the Ties have given us, Mean Streets overall, and just everybody in the basketball community, we really appreciate that. So I just definitely want to let you know, thank you very much for that.
No, we appreciate you guys for coming.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.